So let's talk about the new paradigm for personal development and success. So we're going to start with the story. A couple of months ago, I was at an event and I met someone who is a coach, and I was speaking to him about kind of some of the struggles that I was facing with my business. So at one point, without asking me like too many questions, he just said, "Oh, you should just not say that you have been in business for 3 years as a coach." And on that same trip, I was on the trip with a friend of mine who also said the same thing to me. And I was kind of like, I don't know if that's true. Like, I've been doing a lot. I've been shifting a lot. Like, I've been trying to figure out what my offers are. But I don't know if that's true. And so I kind of sat with it. I'm aware enough now to know that when something is not really true for me. And so I was just like, okay, well, I don't know how helpful that was. And then a couple of weeks later, a woman that I had met at a personal development seminar last year had a very similar timeline to me. She was very successful in a leadership position in product marketing. And then around the same time I left corporate, she also left corporate because she was getting burnt out. She didn't feel fulfilled anymore, and she moved into coaching as well. But when she moved into coaching, and this happened for both of us, is the last 2.5, 3 years have been in the deep stuff. Like, we were going through our own stuff and we're trying to build a business at the same time. And so I reconnected with her, and she is she's learning human design and how do you use human design for your business. And so she ran a report for me, and I think I only got like 4 pages in to like it was like a 22-page document, and I got 4 pages in, and I literally, my entire body just went into shock. So this is May that I'm talking about, and my entire body goes into shock. I end up getting sick, and I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. I can see exactly why my messages haven't been landing. My entire business was targeting the wrong audience. I was focusing on career development when I should have been working on identity and personal transformation, which is now what I've refocused on. And I was getting called to it, but I didn't feel like I was ready yet. So I was kind of doing it in the background, but I was always advertising more of the career development. So reading this 4 pages, I couldn't get through the rest of it. I was like, oh my gosh, all of this makes sense. I understand why nothing is landing now, but it sent my body into a shock, and I started running a fever. And in that fever, I started getting downloads. And the download I got was that both of the people who had given me the feedback, like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that you're in business for 3 years, they were both men. They were both all about performance and results and massive action. And what the download that I got while I was, running my fever was that, look, they are doing something that's already been done. What you have been doing for 3 years is building the foundation of your business. You are doing something that hasn't been done before. The work you're doing around identity, how are you going to go coach people around identity if you don't even understand what your own identity is? if you don't go through these basic things. So from learning astrology to learning about psychology to going through my own childhood trauma to learning about connection and how do we, what are our love languages, to ancestral trauma. Like, these are things that are completely different from what I used to do. And so many of you who I speak to, it's the same thing. Like, I was working with computers and now all of a sudden I'm working with people. Like, we went to school for years to be able to do that, right? And now we are in life school, right? So we are now learning, and that learning is what is building the foundation of our business. To say that we haven't been in business for 3 years or however long you've been in business for is not correct. And so what I started to realize, because I do go to a lot of big seminars and things like that where it is about performance, it is about massive action, it is about showing results, is that was the old paradigm. That was a very masculine way of functioning. In the new paradigm, it is about aligned action. And why can I say this so confidently? Because every single one of the people that I have spoken to where they have been successful and they're going through this transition, they have all said in some shape or form that they are doing all the right things. They're following the marketing strategies. They're doing the funnels. They're creating their offers the way they're supposed to. They're creating the coaching program or whatever new business based on industry standards, and it's not working. And I've personally experienced this where I will do challenges and I'm doing all the things. I'm literally doing everything and all the other things that I've learned. And there's other people in the challenge who will do maybe like 10% of what I've done. And at the end of it, they're like, oh, I'm getting all these results and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, the quality of what I'm putting out there is so much better. I literally cannot fathom what the problem is. And there was nothing really telling me to do this. And a lot of people will say, oh, don't wait forever. And I don't see this as waiting, because I personally feel I was making progress. So a lot of what we'll notice is it's not that we will see material success right away. It's the energetic alignment to our purpose, to who we are, to our mission, to what we're here to do. And there's a lot of talk about the rise of the feminine. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that women are taking over the world. So like, anyone who is about to complain about that in the comments, please don't, just stop. We all have both masculine and feminine energy, right? So that's why we have gay people who are gays. There's a man who has more masculine energy in the partnership and one that has more feminine energy. Same with lesbians. Why a man likes a woman, right? Like, it's all about the polarity. We say the woman wears the pants in the relationship. What does that mean? She just has the more masculine energy in that relationship. It doesn't mean that she's a man. Okay? But you need the balance of both. So you won't ever see like two very masculine men together or two very feminine people together, or a man and a woman who are both very masculine or both very feminine. It's all about the polarity, right? And so what it is we're moving from a place where it was all results, right? But with AI, everyone can produce results. But what the feminine does is the feminine is slowing down. It's more intuition. It's more creative. You're using a different part of your brain. It's more in tuned with what's going on. And as I kind of went back and I used to think, what was I doing when I was in corporate? Like, there were certain times where I was like, I was successful in this role. What was I doing? And what I noticed, it was when I balanced both my action-oriented, masculine tasks. This is what we're doing. This is the strategy. Here's the vision. We're going to go there, go get it. With my feminine, which was more empathetic. I would check in with my team members. What's going on with you? I would make sure I would spend the time to build that relationship, see how they were doing, see what their growth was. It was only when I matched both of them and I brought both of them that I was able to be successful. And so this is not just for anyone who's creating a business. This is also for people in leadership and people who want to continue working for other corporations. It's a matter of bringing that more intuitive, creative side in. And it's about divine timing and alignment. So if you have been successful up until now, and again, there's a lot of astrological reasons behind this, which I'm not talking about, but if you became a doctor, if you became an engineer, if you became a singer or whatever, because your parents told you, because that's what was acceptable by society, what you're starting to notice more and more now, and this is why there's so many people who just kind of mass quit after COVID or around COVID or decided not to go back, is that we are looking for fulfillment. We are looking to do things that are more emotionally aligned, right? Because AI can do the things that aren't conscious, that doesn't really require feeling. But even if you are working with AI, even if you are trying to make processes and things faster, there are going to be projects you could probably do where you're like, oh, okay, this is paying the bills. But it's really going to be what excites me every day, what really ignites my fire and my emotions, and what am I passionate about? What am I excited to do? Like, there's so many people that just say, oh, I'm making so much money and I'm just doing whatever, right? So it's time to start thinking about, who are you outside of your job, right? Who are you outside of the results? And, for those of you who go to these big seminars and things where you are in a place where it's very performance focused, make sure you're tuning in to how you're feeling, because I have a good hunch that a lot of these environments are probably going to start creating more damage than being helpful, because you're in an environment and you see some people in the room and you're like, wow, they're super successful, they're millionaires, they're billionaires. But the part that is missing in that conversation is, you don't know the journey they took. You don't know the karma they've signed up for and the karma that they've come in with into this lifetime. You don't know the purpose that they're here for. So it's quite possible that they are doing what they're aligned with, what they're here to do already. There's also a chance that they have created a lot of success, but they're feeling very unfulfilled. So don't look at someone else's success and be like, well, this is what they're doing, I'm just going to map everything they did and expect it to work for me. Those days are gone, unfortunately. So you have to find your own path. And don't let someone else's success and someone else's path tell you that you're on the wrong one. Sometimes it's like a 2 millimeter shift that you need to make, and it's going to make the biggest difference. So you might be on the right path. You might be doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing and not get results because there's something that's slightly not aligned with you. And so if you are trying to figure out what is the alignment, how do I figure out what the alignment is? Drop a message in the comments or in my DMs, and I will be glad to give you some resources that will help you figure out what your purpose is, what's aligned for you, because we're all here to play a part. And the more that we are aligned and playing our part, those gaps will not remain gaps. And that's how we will all, as a collective, move forward together. So I am hoping that you will find your alignment and you will start to get the results, because once you're in alignment, everything flows so much more easily. It should not feel like work. And I can tell you 100% that I have now witnessed the magic of alignment, where I'm still doing the same things in my own way and I am seeing massive results. So I will see you again next time.